Hi everyone, in today's tutorial I'll be doing a full review of 4 websites that allow you to breathe life into your images by essentially turning them into talking videos. So I'll be covering Hedra, Heygen, Runway and Live Portrait.
Okay, enough talking. Let's get started.
So from a lot of experimenting, I've noticed that images that are in a 1:1 aspect ratio or anything in a square format work very well. And as long as you have the image completely front facing and you know the face encompasses quite a bit of the image, it tends to work really well. So here are some examples. So as long as it's in this format, it should work very well. Okay, so images you definitely want to avoid is any full body shots of these images because these services will actually crop in on the face, and of course the face is further away in the image, so that means you're going to lose resolution and the results are not going to look good. And I'll show you an example. So this image over here, I uploaded it to Hedra, and the result it gives me, it looks strange, right? This doesn't look natural. Look at what's happening with the eyes. In my opinion, this is a bad result. But if you cropped it in on the face, it's front facing, you know, 1:1 aspect ratio, the results are going to look a lot better and more accurate and more consistent as well. So just remember that. So something else you maybe want to avoid, although sometimes you can break the rule, is any, images that are maybe at a 3/4 angle or side profiles, or just something like this. Sometimes you don't get the best results, but I have tried this before, in the past, and I'll show you an example. So over here I've got this image. We can't see anything on the other side of this guy's face, but I ran this through Hedra and the result that I ended up getting actually wasn't that bad, as you can see. And the AI actually fills in that missing information. It knows there's supposed to be an ear on the other side, which is actually incredible. So you can break this rule and sometimes you'll actually get some decent to good results. Now I'll show you another example. So here's one. You can see, can't see anything on the other side of her face, and she's even wearing glasses in this case. But the result it gives me, not that bad, right? That still looks good. The lip syncing is still spot on. Yeah, but if you want the best results, I would still say front facing, just like this, and then run that through Hedra and you should get some pretty good results consistently. Now I wanted to show you an example of why it's important to make sure your facial expression in your image actually correlates with the dialogue. And this should be common sense, but if your dialogue is all cheerful and happy, but you've got an image of someone who looks angry, the way that audio is going to be delivered might be a little bit jarring or just strange. And you can see over here from a neutral expression to happy and even upset, how it affects the way that dialogue gets delivered.
Hello, my name is Emmy. This is a test so that you can both see and hear how artificial intelligence can transform images into talking videos.
So the first website I'll be using is called Hedra, which is my personal favorite, but it also has some limitations, which I will be discussing. Anyway, you want to go to hedra.com, sign in, and then this is the UI that you'll be presented with. It's very easy to understand. On the far left-hand side, we've got audio, and by default, it's on generate audio. So this allows you to actually type out some text, and then you can actually select a voice that's going to voice that text. So they've got male and female voices over here. So for instance, if I wanted Matilda to voice my text, I can select her name and then I can click on play to hear a preview of her voice as well.
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes,
which is great. But another thing to mention, all of these voices that you hear over here are actually from a website called 11 Labs, and I personally think it's better to actually go to 11 Labs instead, because you'll have access to a much larger library of voices to use. So if you are happy with the voices over here, you actually don't have to complete the next step, but I do want to show you. If you guys go to 11 Labs and you sign in, they'll give you some free credits. And if you go to speech and if you go to voices and you scroll down this list, you'll actually be able to find Matilda. So here's Matilda right over here.
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortune.
And then you can even click to use voice and type in some text over here. You'll click on generate speech and you'll be able to hear Matilda's voice basically pronouncing all of these words that you've typed out. But the reason why I said use 11 Labs instead is because if you go to voices and you go to library, you now have access to tons of different voices that you can use. You can even use the filter to filter by gender, and you can see for different categories as well. You can hear samples of these voices.
Wrinkles should merely indicate.
Then you can add it to your voice lab, just like this. All right, and then if you go back to speech, you can find that voice that you've added, right, which is Miranda, and then you can generate the speech using a whole bunch of other different voices. Once it generates the speech, you just click on this download icon so that you can download the audio. So I would recommend using 11 Labs. You just have access to a much larger library. Now that brings us to the next feature over here, which is import audio. So if you've actually used 11 Labs and you've downloaded the audio, you can go back to Hedra and you'll see over here that there is an import audio feature. So you'd actually be able to import the audio into this section. Just something else I wanted to mention, which is very important. Whether you're generating audio, if it's written, or if you're importing audio, there is a limitation on the length. Currently, it's set to 30 seconds. So you cannot import audio that is longer than 30 seconds. So I'll just import some audio over here. All right. And you can also preview it so you can hear what it sounds like.
Hello, my name is Emmy. This is a test.
Which is great. And yeah, but you can also see that there's an option to record audio. So if you're using a headset or a microphone, you can actually click on this. And hello, this is a test. You are now going to hear me recording audio on the website. And then I'll click on stop, and then you can listen back to the audio that you've just recorded. And hello, this is a test. Now, I think this is using my webcam microphone. That's why the audio doesn't sound so great. But there is the option to start recording on here. And, you know, if you want to use your own voice. So the next section is the character section, and this allows you to drag and drop your own images over here. You can use an image of yourself, or maybe an image that you've generated, maybe using Midjourney, Bing, or Leonardo AI. So you can do that. Or you can actually use the prompt section here at the bottom, and you can basically generate an image directly on Hedra. So if I type in a prompt over here, one thing I want to mention is they have a guide, which is actually very important. If you click on this, they give you some tips and tricks for getting the best results. So definitely read through this so you know how to prompt on Hedra. And then you can also randomize your prompt. You can randomize the seed, or you can even type in a negative prompt for things you don't want to see. And now you'll see if I click on create, it's going to generate an image using this prompt. So just give it a couple of seconds and we'll get an image. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, and I would not recommend using, you know, this whole prompting feature directly on Hedra, because for me personally, I cannot get images that are completely front facing like this, which is the most important thing. Whenever I generate images on Hedra, they're at a slight angle like this, and that just tends to not give me the best results. And I've tried editing my prompt, I just cannot get a complete front facing image like this. And I managed to do that using focus and stable diffusion. But if you have no other option, you can still generate an image on here so that you have something to use with your audio. So a quick recap. In my case, I'm not using generate audio. I decided to import audio that I exported from 11 Labs. I generated my image in another service, and I don't need to use the prompt section. Once that's all set up, again, I can listen to my audio.
Hello.
Once that's all set up, I've got my audio, I've got my image. I just need to click on generate video. It will send it to a queue, and it probably takes about, well, I've noticed maybe 2 to 3 minutes sometimes to generate your end result, sometimes quicker, but I'll show you what the end result looks like. So once your video is generated, there'll be a big play button over here. You can click on play and then watch the magic unfold.
Hello, my name is Emmy. This is a test so that you can both see and hear how artificial intelligence can transform images into talking videos.
Perfect. And then you can go ahead, click on download, and you've got your video. Now, a limitation I've noticed is obviously the image quality, or I should say the video quality. I feel it could be improved, but I feel like when they introduce paid plans, you'll get better quality. Also, when you download a video, let me just show you, you'll have a watermark on here. But paid plans are obviously going to remove that. So limitation for now is that video quality could be improved, and we want to remove these watermarks. But overall, I feel like the end result looks really good. We've got, you know, the subtle or sometimes quite a bit of head movement, but it adds to the realism of the end result. And it's the only one I've seen that adds quite a bit of head movement, which I think sells the final video. And just to show you one more time the importance of a front-facing video, here's an image that was generated in Hedra. Now, of course, the face is front-facing, but there is a slight little angle to it. But this is the result we get, which still, okay, it looks decent. but ideally you want something that is completely front facing, just to get the best result in my opinion. Anyway, I still think Hedra is amazing. This is the start of this technology and it can only improve going forward. But yeah, if you want to create a talking head with Hedra, then there you go. So the next one we'll be using is Heygens Expressive Photo Avatar, which is completely for free, by the way, while it's in beta. So if you head over to this link, which I've put in the description of this video, you'll be presented with this web page, and it's very easy to understand. So you can see option number 1, it's telling us to supply an image. So you can use an image of yourself or one that you've generated. So just drag and drop it over here. It says create an avatar, which is basically just uploading your image. And in this case, we have to provide audio. So there's no text to audio on Heygen. So that's why it was very useful to use 11 Labs so that we could actually download an audio file. So in this case, I actually do have an audio file. I can select that. And before I actually select that, you can see over here that the file duration has to be between 3 to 30 seconds. So that is the maximum length of audio that we can use. So once you select that, you can obviously preview and listen to your audio.
Hello.
And then you'll see at the bottom, I'm actually going to describe these as presets. So let's say if you've generated audio that's like lyrics in a song, you'd probably use the song preset, and you can also listen to that so you can get a general idea.
I'm looking for a man in finance.
Or you can use speaking.
Believe it or not, this.
Or book reading.
Who are you?
It depends on the use case. In this case, we just have, a regular talking voice for our talking avatar. So I would select speaking and then click on submit. It'll send it to a queue over here, and currently there's a lot of people using the server. So you can see 955 videos in the wait list. So I've been waiting like, I think almost 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes for the video to generate, but you will get your end result. And then that is it. So once your video is downloaded, you can just click on it over here. It'll bring this up, so you can even choose to share it on social media. But you can actually, let's preview the video that's been generated with Heygen using the same audio. So it's the same image and the same audio, and this is the result you get from Heygen.
Hello, my name is Emmy. This is a test so that you can both see and hear how artificial intelligence can transform images into talking videos. Hello.
All right, so if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and click on download. Now, obviously, the results are very different in comparison to Hedra. And to demonstrate this, I've put a side-by-side comparison. So you can see what Hedra looks like and then what Heygen looks like. And you can decide from here which one you think is better. Now, in my opinion, I think the addition of head movement definitely makes this look much better and more realistic. Heygen definitely looks very stiff and very artificial. That's just my personal opinion, but I did want to showcase that you can use both of these features, but it's up to you which one you intend on using. Heygen, however, does have better quality output with its video, but I personally think Hedra looks better. You let me know what you think in the comments. Hedra or Heygen? So the next one is Runway. So I am giving you guys options. This one you can use for free as well. So when you sign into Runway, you just have to scroll down until you find lip sync video, and it will bring you over to this interface. So it's very easy to understand. Over here, we actually do have text to audio, just like Hedra. So we can type something in over here. But you can see we also have the option to upload audio, and we can even record audio with our microphones. Or you can create a custom voice, but you do need to pay for the pro option to access that. If you are doing text to audio, you can also select a bunch of different voices down here, and if you click on the play button, you can preview them.
Hi there, I absolutely love.
Which is great. One thing that is cool about Runway's lip sync is that you can actually add, lip syncing onto an actual video itself. It mentions it here at the bottom. So if you have a video with movement and faces, it will actually add lip syncing onto the video, which both Hedra and Heygen don't offer. Anyway, it's simple, right? So we need to drag in an image. You just drag and drop it over here. And in my case, I'm going to upload audio, which is the audio file that I saved right at the beginning of this video when I did that with Hedra and used 11 Labs. So I already have an audio file that I can import into Runway. So I'll import the audio. I've got a face. Here we go. So audio plus face, and then you just have to click on generate and you'll get your end result. Oh, and something else just to mention, you can see that Runway allows up to 40 seconds of audio, which is the longest in comparison to both Hedra and Heygen. So once the image has downloaded, you can go ahead and click on download. You can also click on this reuse input and setting, so that will basically re-input the audio and the image in here, and you can click on generate to get another result. But I want to show you what the result looks like, so I'll click on play.
Hello, my name is Emmy. This is a test so that you can both see and hear how artificial intelligence can transform images into talking videos.
So to be completely honest, I think this is the weakest one. Just the mere fact that, you know, the lip syncing or, you know, just the overall,
So that you can both see,
you know, animation with the face, it just looks off in my opinion. I don't think it looks that great. There is some subtle head movement, which is cool. But I mean, in comparison to like Hedra and even Heygen, Runway is coming in last place in my opinion, but I did want to, you know, still include it as an option. So the last one that I want to show you is called Live Portrait, and this is on Hugging Face. So you'll have to go to Hugging Face, create an account, sign in, and then go to this link so that you can access this page. This right now is completely for free, so definitely go ahead and give it a try. So like I said, it's called Live Portrait, but this one is a bit different to the other ones we've used. So with the previous ones, we had an image plus audio, and that would give us a video output. But this one is essentially image plus video gives us a video output. So essentially we have a video over here that's going to drive the animation on our final video. And you'll see, so we've got a source portrait. You can drag an image of yourself, or in this case I'm using the one in the tutorial. And then on the right hand side we have these examples that we can choose. You can click on play and you can see what the person's basically doing with their face, all these different expressions. So any expressions you see over here are going to be applied onto our image. So if you find something you like, in this case I used this one, you select that. And if you plan on using your own video, by the way, you don't have to use these examples, you can upload your own. They do have a section over here which is called animation instructions. So you want to read over this to see what's the best practices. You basically need a 1:1 aspect ratio that focuses on the head, minimal shoulder movement. But if you follow these guidelines, you can upload your own video as the driving video, which is really cool. So once you have your image and your video, you literally just click on animate. It doesn't even take that long to generate the end result. I think I waited like 30 seconds for this. And if I click on play, you can see it's basically brought this image to life. But I think this is also a really cool comparison, because over here we get to see the video itself and the animation applied onto our image, which creates a video for us. So very, very cool stuff. It's almost like puppeteering in a sense. But I did want to showcase this because there's definitely some potential with this. I would still consider this experimental. It's, you know, early days for stuff like this, but really cool. Something else I forgot to mention, you'll see that there's an icon over here for a webcam. So in the case of the driving video, if you click on that, there'll be a record button over here, and you can make some funny facial expressions using your webcam, and you can use that as the driving video as well. So I did try this with one of the other more extreme examples of those videos that they provided. Now this one I think looks ridiculous. There's also just strange like deformation and warping on the image. I don't think this is the best example, but still cool that it can do something like this where it can just alter the expression of your images. And now at the bottom we also have this retargeting feature, which is actually quite cool because this allows you to open or close the eyes on the character as well as open or close the mouth. So in this case, maybe I didn't want her teeth to show. You just put this value on 0, and you can see from the image that's generated, her mouth is closed, and this value is on 0 as well, so her eyes are closed. And you can just gradually control that by increasing this value. You click on retargeting. It does it really quickly. You'll see, there we go. So there. Now we can see more of her teeth and we can see her eyes. Or we can put this value really high, and this is going to be a monstrosity right now. This is going to be terrifying. But this is what happens if you push these values too high. Whoa, okay. But yeah, I think it's a cool feature. It would be cool if there were sliders to, or maybe preset sliders for different emotions like happy, sad, shocked, scared. That would be like a cool addition. But then yeah, you can take something like this, and let's see, I'm going to put this on 0. Let's retarget that. You can essentially save this out by clicking on download. You can save out this image. That saves it as a WebP P file for some reason, and then you can essentially bring that in as your new source portrait. So previously, remember, you could see her teeth. She doesn't have any teeth showing here. I selected this video, I clicked on animate, and now this is the result that I get using that. So her mouth does open, but it's because the mouth opens in this driving video. Yeah, that's cool. I think Live Portrait has a lot of potential with animating your images and turning them into these videos. So this is completely optional, but if you wanted to improve the quality of your videos, you can use Topaz Video AI. It's going to upscale it to 4K and 60 frames per second. The only thing is, yeah, it's expensive. It's $300, but it allows you to do that. And I can show you a comparison. So on the left-hand side is the raw output from Hedra, and on the right-hand side is an upscale video to 4K at 60 frames per second using Topaz Video AI. I don't know if the difference is that significant. This is why there needs to be a solution built directly into these services that allow you to upscale video. But I thought I would give you an alternative if you wanted to improve the quality of your videos as well. So that's going to be the end of this video, and I wanted to show you a comparison with all of these results in a single video so that you can decide which one you think is the best. For me personally, I still consider Hedra to be the best one, just because of the head movement and overall, you know, the consistency with the way the mouth and the lips move in relation to the audio itself. I think it does the best job, with Heygen coming in second place. Live Portrait is quite experimental, but I do like the fact that you're almost puppeteering a face, so it's quite cool. And then Runway would be in last place in my opinion. I just don't think it has the best lip syncing. But yeah, I'm going to be giving the trophy to Hedra, and let's see how this technology continues advancing. I remember this is still early days for this type of technology, but it's still really cool that you can do stuff like this and create these talking images or these talking avatars. Anyway, I hope you learned something useful from this, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe or hit the like button, and stay tuned for some more videos and tutorials, and goodbye.